Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. So excited to be with you and to share the news with you. Yes, the soap opera life of Fani Willis never ends. Fanny, whatever you want to call her, folks. This is a wild report. I want to share something actually first, though, before getting into that, because I think this is really important for people to understand. Donald Trump did an interview in which he talked about Ashley Babbitt. It's short, so if you just indulge me here, I'm going to play that video first as people are joining the stream, so you guys can all understand. I think one of the things that happens is when you're a president of the United States, everybody thinks you're supposed to know everything about everything, and the reality is that's just not the case. It's tough to keep tabs on absolutely everything going on, so you tend to look at the things because your mind has this ability to absorb so much, and once this continuum is full, you're not able to just add more to it, and you can just imagine how busy President Trump's days are. So without any further ado, I want to bring that. Well, actually, here, you know what I'm going to do first? Let me just mention. I'm going to mention my sponsor here really quick, and then we will get right into Fani Willis. And then we'll put Trump on the backside, I think, is the way to handle this. And I do, there's a couple comments I want to address too in the chat here. But folks, my sponsor, Birch Gold. Tariffs, wars, recession fears, and stubborn inflation. No wonder gold has routinely hit all-time highs. In volatile markets like right now, don't sit on the sidelines with your head in the sand. Take control and safeguard your savings. That's why so many Americans today are turning towards Birch Gold. They've helped tens of thousands convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. Is it time for you to hedge against inflation and economic instability with gold? To learn how to own physical gold in a tax-sheltered account, text Lumberjack to 989-898. Okay? Text Lumberjack to 989-898. I'll put that right up on the screen for you. Birch Gold will send you a free, no-obligation info kit with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews. Trust Birch Gold to help protect the savings with gold. Okay, I trust Birch Gold. You can trust Birch Gold as well. It took us decades to get into the tangled mess that we're trying to unpack right now. Don't kid yourself for a second. It's not going to get out of it overnight. How long will it take to get out of it, and at what cost? I don't know the answers to that, but this is why I diversify with gold and silver. Text Lumberjack to 989-898 today. All right, folks. So let's get right into this story here with, so for those who haven't followed the Fani Willis saga, okay, I want to bring something back into the fray. I want to see if you remember this moment from the trial. And there's some music to this because this is really funny, but so I'll probably have to stop the music and then restart the audio again. So watch this. It's hilarious.
Go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever.
Ever?
Ever.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back and feeling my soul.
Now I'm going to just cut the audio for a second here. He's just still dreaming about it today.
No.
You've never gone to a cabin with this.
No.
He's quiet for all that time. Do you guys remember that moment from the trial? Then he's like, no. Okay. So there was so many things that happened during the Fani Willis fiasco. And if you'll remember, that was the case that they really pinned their hopes on getting Trump. And they thought they could get him on this RICO charge. And then we found out that the real racketeering was dealing with the Biden regime and the Department of Justice coordinating with prosecutors in Fulton County, Georgia, to go after the former president of the United States of America. Okay, so this is all crazy. Now, I want to address a comment here because we've found Fani Willis again, and I'm going to show you the video. Oh, hey, thanks so much for that super sticker, Dana. But there was somebody up here said, where was it? I want to address this comment. It don't matter. Nothing will happen. It doesn't, actually, would be the way to say that, but it doesn't matter. Nothing will happen. And then somebody else said, the odds are, again, nothing will happen. Folks, do you realize everything that Trump went through? Did anything happen? Is President Trump in jail? No, the process is the punishment. Now, I'm not so sure that we won't actually see justice with the Trump Justice Department pressing charges against Fani Willis and some of the things that she's done. Okay. So let's just start there. But even so, the process is the punishment. So as long as Fani Willis is continuing to do actions that show she perjured herself on the stand, because remember, they were done with their relationship, folks. Okay? They said they were done. In fact, there's so much more to this. And this was another video. I want to remind you too. This took place shortly after we were told that they weren't an item together anymore, her and Nathan. And her daughter ends up driving with a suspended license, I believe it was. Here we go. This is... How long is this process? Couple hours.
Mom, Dad, who's with you?
Here we go.
Okay.
So here's Connie.
So,
There's Nathan. And they were supposed to all be done at this.
Apparently her license is suspended. For something.
News
Tell
to
us
you.
what for.
It's news to Fani. Okay, now what's interesting about this whole interaction, okay, and I don't even need to play the whole thing. I've covered this before, but they were together, and we were told that they weren't an item anymore. Well, now, just the other day at LAX airport, look at this. Here they are again. There's Nathan. There's Connie. Now, some intrepid person got video of them at LAX. Oh, and they just followed him around. Check this out. Oh yeah, don't look. Okay, we're gonna show some crack. Yeah, this is, and followed him down. Okay, I think she shows a little more crack. But this is, here they are at LAX. I wonder if she's got Grey Goose in the. Oh, there she is, showing her midriff. Come on, Bonnie, midriff away. Okay, so that's what's going on. Somebody else says disagree. Jail is the process of justice. People are rotten in prison for a lot less. Understood. But again, Richard, I'm not saying that they're not going to go to jail. I'm just addressing comments that say nothing happens. Oh, this doesn't matter. Those types of comments, because the reality is every time we expose this, it raises the collective consciousness about an issue like this. And so it does matter. It does matter. Okay. So getting this information out there so you can completely discredit these liars is important. It's very important. So, in fact, I want to show you, I'm going to bring you to this. These are court documents from the time. So you remember that they were meeting with the White House, admitted to it. And then Nathan Wade's getting asked about this. So I was asking, this was during the court hearing. So I was asking if he remembered whether you would have had a paralegal, someone that was on your team or assistant, reach out to schedule this conference with the White House counsel. I don't recall. Wait, you've got a meeting with the White House and you don't even recall who scheduled it? Okay. Do you remember who attended the conference with the White House counsel? I don't recall. You can't even remember who's in a meeting? It is safe to assume, since you billed for the conference with the White House counsel, that you attended this conference with the White House counsel. Yes. Okay. Do you remember if it was in person or by telephone? I don't recall. It was all just a series of lies. I don't remember it happening. I don't remember it happening. I don't. Again, all these questions. I don't recall. 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 No, ma'am, I don't recall. It could be like a song. I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall. No, ma'am, I don't recall. Yes, ma'am. I mean, it was just endless lies from these people. And now here they are. At LAX, we all done with each other. Here they are, LAX. Here they are together again. So it just shows further their lying ways, folks. You know, and it's crazy to me. But I wanted to actually, so I used Fani Willis as the thumbnail because people are always interested in Fani. But what I really want to get to you is this, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream. Donald Trump was asked by Greg Kelly about Ashley Babbitt and the DOJ's stance on Ashley Babbitt. And I want to share this video with you. So watch this.
I don't know if you know this, but the Department of Justice right now is still kind of fighting that case. The family of Ashley Babbitt is suing the government, wrongful death. The DOJ right now officially is still opposing that lawsuit, trying to justify it. Shouldn't that be something that can just be settled at this point?
Well, I'll look into that. I mean, you're just telling me that for the first time. I haven't heard that. I'm a big fan of Ashley Babbitt, okay? And Ashley Babbitt was a really good person who was a big MAGA fan, Trump fan, and she was innocently standing there. They even say trying to sort of hold back the crowd. And a man did something to her that was unthinkable when he shot her. And I think it's a disgrace. I'm going to look into that. I did not know that, no.
And the officer who shot her, Michael Byrd, is still on duty. They gave him a raise and they gave him a medal and I believe a promotion.
I think it's a disgrace.
He's a federal employee. Would you or could you do something about
I'm going
that?
to take a look at it. I'm going to look at that too. His reputation was, I won't even say, let's find out about his reputation, okay? We're going to find out. But I watched that and I saw that. And by the way, she was killed, but nobody else was killed. And you know, the people that went down there, they had no guns. They didn't have guns. There was something to do with the FBI. There was something to do with Antifa and others, and it wasn't mentioned. And there's never been a group of people, I think, with the exception of maybe over the years, a couple of groups were treated pretty harshly, but essentially never treated so badly. And as you know, I let them out with pardons. I know you were very happy. I watch your show all the time. You were extremely happy about it.
So the Justice Department is still trying to state that the murder of Ashley Babbitt is completely justified. And if you watch the video, I mean, what did she weigh? I mean, how big was Ashley? She wasn't even a big gal. And then you got Michael Byrd, this big guy, and the only way he can handle Ashley Babbitt is with a gun? Are you serious? Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyhow, just a complete but I want to bring that in because everybody thinks Donald Trump, like, oh, he's not concerned about Ashley Babbitt. No, the reality is he doesn't know everything about everything that's going on. That's like me covering the news. You guys will say things in the chat, and I don't know that those are going on because none of us can know everything that's going on all the time. Okay. So, you know, this was, and we saw this before before Trump was inaugurated, while he was selecting his cabinet, there was that person down in Florida that we got booted off there. Because again, Trump finds out more and we do a lot to expose that as well. So this is why I say the things like Fani Willis, that's part of the collective consciousness. If you can get more people, so like get somebody on Trump's team that sees that, oh, wow, she was at LAX with Nathan Wade. So she lied on the witness stand. What's going on about that case? So, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, as they say. So the other thing, speaking of a squeaky wheel that needs some grease right now, I'm going to share another video with you. I've talked to you people, and I know I've got a lot of listeners in Wisconsin. There are things you can do. Turning Point is out there knocking on doors. If you're in Wisconsin, you get out and knock on doors, find out what you can do for the Supreme Court race out there right now, because I'm going to show you this is what they are trying to do. Hakeem Jeffries admits to it right here.
In Wisconsin, that's a 50-50 race because we know Wisconsin's a 50-50 state.
Yeah.
And we have a strong Democratic candidate. Whoever wins is going to determine who has the majority in the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Why is that important?
Okay, now I want to note something here. He's talking about the majority in the Wisconsin Supreme Court. So they have a retiring justice. Okay, it is a 3-2 liberal court right now that would shift. That would stay 3-2 liberal, and they would redistrict. And then you're going to see them out the whole game right now. And they're going to talk about, oh, gerrymandered, this, that. No, see, the thing is, just like with our House of Representatives, we're supposed to get representation for these rural districts, okay? And they don't want there to be representation for rural districts because they're not going to approve of the things that Hakeem Jeffries wants.
Because there are gerrymandered congressional lines right now in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a 50-50 state, as I mentioned, but there are 6 Republicans and only 2 Democrats out of an 8-person delegation because the lines are broken.
Right.
And as soon as possible, we need to be able to revisit that and have fair lines. The only way for that to be even a significant possibility is if you have an enlightened Supreme Court. And so, you know, I think that's an incredibly important race.
An enlightened Supreme Court. He means a darkened Supreme Court, folks. So don't kid yourself. That race in Wisconsin is so vitally important. Even if you're in Minnesota and close to the border, it can jump across. You know, you could do something there. But really, it's for the people of Wisconsin to save that. But there's plenty of outside money pouring into that. I think Elon Musk has dumped $2 million into that. He understands how important it is. So anyhow, make sure you do me a favor, smash that like on your way out as we end the stream. Also, please go check out my sponsor. Go get yourself a free info kit on gold by texting the word lumberjack to 989898. Again, that's the word lumberjack to 989898. No obligation, folks, just useful information. You can get physical gold and silver that you just keep at your house. You can get your IRA converted to physical gold and silver. But the folks at Birch Gold will help you with that. They've been around forever. One of the reasons is I was looking for a new sponsor for gold and silver. I went with Birch Gold. I reached out to them. They'd reached out to me before. But I wanted to get somebody that had been around and was stable. And that's what Birch Gold is. It's a company that's done a great job for a long time. So go check them out. You can also go to birchgold.com/lumberjack if you want to check them out. Or you can do the text. But I believe in having physical gold and silver on hand. I have investments in gold and silver. It's all performed very well for me. So go get yourself some with Birch Gold. And thanks so much for listening, folks. We'll see you on the next episode. Smash that like on the way out and just drop a comment. All right. Peace out.